Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have a Spade review on the Yak-17 jet. Now obviously I've already reviewed the Yak-15P, and some of you might have been expecting the Yak-15, the regular one with the two cannons, but I decided to do something that has never really had much love, and that's the Yak-17. The last time I really saw anyone review this thing was Mags in like 2014, because people do not fly this plane, and I can't really find a reason why. Now, of course, you do get up to 6.7, but so does the Yak-15, and I see more regular Yak-15s than I do these things. And I don't know if it's just me, but this one feels like it accelerates a little better. It does feel a little bit heavier as well, and obviously there is an issue which is actually shown in the gameplay, that being the landing gear arrangement. And I will obviously demonstrate that in the hangar first, but to give you an idea, let me demonstrate. So first of all, you may have noticed that the Yak-15P is a tail dragger and the Yak-17 is tricycle landing gear. This landing gear nose wheel unfortunately has a bit of a bug, where the game seems to think it is down even though it's retracted. So the only real way you can do that is if you boot the rudder or turn the plane's ailerons as you are landing. And pretty much from there you can brake this wheel and come to a safe stop without using the main gear. You obviously can land the plane without the gear, and you can land it with the gear, but it's just quicker to leave the gear retracted and just brake the nose wheel by using the trick that I'm going to show you in the video. At least I think I showed it in this gameplay. I don't probably remember, but even so, all you need to do is just turn the ailerons to the left or the right and boot a little bit of rudder, and it will brake the wheel. So, what are the differences between the Yak-17 and the Yak-15? Well, to be brutally honest, not a lot. You do get these wing tanks, which they don't really seem to weigh that much, and don't really slow the plane down all that much, but they do make it a little bit heavier, so just bear that in mind. Additionally, you do actually get some pilot front armor instead of the non-standard, well I say non-standard, the non-existent pilot armor on the Yak-15. Obviously, you do get the backplate, which the Yak-15 or the Yak-17, sorry, does as well. But you also get 55mm of bulletproof glass. So it's at least a little something just to help you out, you know? It's every little helps at the end of the day. The engine is exactly the same. The firepower compared to the 15, though, is different. Obviously, this has the twin 23mm. The regular Yak-15 also comes with this, so don't worry about that. But pretty much, it's the exact same engine. It just feels like this plane accelerates a little bit better due to the better intake. At least that's my opinion. The drop tanks do obviously add to the weight, so your turn rate isn't as good as the 15P, but you won't really notice too much of a difference unless you're fighting something like a Horton or a Meteor, in which case you can still beat them, but you need to be playing carefully to do that. You'll need to play carefully in the 15P to beat a Horton, but not a Meteor. This thing will beat a Meteor hands down. But of course, other than that, the plane doesn't really change much. You don't get any ground ordnance, you don't get any increase in airspeed or dive as far as I've noticed. The level flight speed seems to be a little bit lower than the Yak-15, but it's not that much different, so you're not really going to notice anything in that regard. And overall, the plane, whilst it is obviously an improvement to the 15P, is it worth flying? Personally, not really. Whilst it is very fun, and you're going to see in the results table that I did have a lot of fun with this plane, I just don't see a reason to play it. And that's only because you're going to get up to 7.7 a lot. And I mean a lot. I've even had matches where I was bone stock and I was fighting in 7.7, which isn't fun. Luckily, the match you're going to see today, I believe, is a 7.3 match, so you shouldn't be too bad in that regard. But against stuff like the 7.7 jets like the F-80C, you're not going to stand much of a chance against them. So just bear that in mind. And obviously F-84Gs will also do that. But at least you can dogfight them if they're dumb enough to do that. But if they use their speed, there's not a lot you can do. So down in the description below, you'll obviously find the skip to the gameplay. So if you want to skip the tables that I normally show for my reviews, please do feel free to go do that now. It is in the description. But if you're sticking around to look at the tables with me, let's go take a look. So welcome to my little table. As is normal with my Spade reviews, I mark down everything that happens in the respective battles. This includes SL, RP gain, if I died or not, how many assists I got, ground kills, and air kills. Up on the top left, you can see various different keyboard symbols which represent things that have been applied to in that match. So, for example, Battle 1 doesn't have anything, whereas Battle 2 has a asterisk. Battle 10 has a plus and a exclamation mark, and obviously the respective boosters that have been applied are up there as well. So if you're confused about anything, or you see these symbols, just look up here and that will explain everything. So, mainly I would normally cover every battle in detail, but obviously with some of the battles not really having much going for them, I'm not really going to talk about them. If you do not want to know which battle you are going to be seeing today, I believe it is Battle 10, so look forward to that. If you've already skipped to the gameplay though, which to be fair, if you had, you wouldn't be here, but if you haven't skipped to the gameplay, that is the battle you're going to be seeing. So, battle number 1 was 1 air kill, nothing and anything else, and was a death with 6,715 SL, 445 RP. Not really a great first impression, but to be fair, a stock Yak jet in a 7-7 match, yeah, that's kind of brutal. Battle 3, though, is where it really gets interesting for the aircraft, where you would have probably had that match for the review of this aircraft. However, my recording failed, so terribly sorry about that. That was 6 air kills, 4 ground kills, 0 assists, didn't die, 47,716 SL, 6,703 RP. Battle number 4 was another interesting one with 4 air kills, no ground kills, no assists, didn't die, 26,505 SL, 8,464 RP. Probably the most influential match. Obviously, I'm going to let you all read them in your own time. You can obviously pause the video. But I'm mainly going to cover the interesting battles. This is something that I've been kind of meaning to do in some of my Spade reviews, so you will obviously see improvements to that. And if you've been watching the newer Spade reviews from the new patch, obviously by the time, obviously I'm not recording when the the Fire and Ice update is out, but just know that there will be changes to the Spade reviews and how I do them, in other words, how I present the tables at least. So obviously Battle 10, which is the match you're going to be seeing today, is 3 air kills, 6 ground kills, 1 assist, didn't die, 61,554 SL, 8,624 RP. That was played with a 150 SL% booster, and that was on SL, and a 15% RP booster, which was towards the aircraft as well. Down here as well, there's some more interesting matches at 3 air kills, 1 assist, 1 ground kill, 3 air kills, 4 ground kills. Didn't die in any of these matches. There was 3 kills plus 3 bots. I obviously list the bots separately, just to not give a false impression that I've got like a godlike KDR. At least this way you know that I'm being genuine. So that just explains it there, and obviously all the SL and RP is there as well. And moving on to part 2 of this table, we obviously have the various different matches that occurred towards the end of the Spade. Now, normally there's only room on my table for 14 battles, but I squeezed in 29 at the bottom there because there's no point me making another table just for one match. So that's there as well if you want that. I just caught my mouse wheel there. So Battle 21 would have probably been another one where you would have had the match shown. But again, my recording failed, and plus a user in the VC with me did have a mic issue, which, looking at the gameplay footage, I didn't really want to ruin it with the sound of a cackling mic, so I'd rather not do that. But obviously down here as well, there is a few naval kills, so I put them in the brackets just so you know. Obviously it doesn't mean that there was 22 ground kills, just to prevent confusion here. There was 16, but 10 of them, well 6 of them were naval targets, and 10 of them were normal ground targets. So just bear that in mind. But obviously, there was a few matches. Well, there was one match where I lost SL, because this thing's repair cost is surprisingly steep. But other than that, the Spade went really well. I didn't write down anything like KDR or anything, but obviously you can convert that in your own time if you wish. Plus, I don't really care about that stuff, but that's just there in case you want to. But otherwise, I think it's a fun plane to Spade. I just don't think it's worth flying in this day and age because whilst it is quite fun as a Yak-17 itself, the acceleration and the weight differences doesn't really make up for anything really. Like, it doesn't really bring what the Yak-15P brought to the table, which is the insane handling on min fuel, which this thing does have very good handling on min fuel, but it's not as good as the Yak-15P. So my personal suggestion would be to just play the regular Yak-15 after the P. Don't really bother with this one unless you like the Yak jets that much. I enjoyed this thing, but that's my personal take on this aircraft. But anyway, I'm going to hand you over to the gameplay now. I hope you enjoyed looking at the tables and everything. If you're new to the channel, of course, this is how I do all my reviews now. But of course, you would have seen the older reviews before this one. And obviously, you would have seen the Fire and Ice update vehicles before this one as well. So, yeah, obviously the newer way I'm going to be doing Spade reviews will be in those reviews, but not in the LA11 China and the Yak-15P review, and also the HE162 review. Those are not going to be how it's going to be done from now on. So just bear that in mind. It's just, obviously, as time goes on, I just wanted to reiterate that. But anyway, I'm going to hand you over to the gameplay now. It's me, and I believe it's just... In fact, no, it's actually just me on my own in this match. You get to see not only the AA trying to ruin our fun, you also get to see a couple of 288s get spanked. So that's always nice. But anyway, I will leave you all to it, and I will see you all on the next one. So, Horton's 262. There was a J6K up at altitude, which I saw. Oh, fuck off with your AAA bullshit. The Hortons are very dangerous. I don't really want to engage them because they can actually beat me in a dogfight. Pretty consistently as well. And there's the hit by the flak. Thanks, Gaijin. I'm already in a jet that's pretty slow for the BR, and now you screw me over even more. Thanks. Really appreciated. Right, well, target priority is going to be that Horton, but tail end Charlie is the J7W. The J7 isn't much of a threat, but I kind of need to get rid of it, regardless. If the SU-9 doesn't delete it, there we go. 262s are coming back in, the Horton's just going to extend. That's okay. Oh, so we are hit by the flak, so we've got to be careful now. This is just proving why I hate, like, DA at the minute. Might have to do a video on it at some point, like the mid-map AA. So we've got multiple 262s engaging the SU-9, which is also on my list. The 84's coming down. That'll probably be the high model. If so, that's probably going to have to go first. It is, I can tell by the 30mm. I can dogfight a Key 84, that's not a problem. The problem is the 262s. Yeah, I think someone G-locks. And it wasn't me. That's him dealt with, but now we're going to go help against the 2262s. I don't know where that Horton's gone, but I can deal with 262s. They're not a problem. He looks like he's suffered engine damage. I'm going to target him first. The other 262's turning back round. I ain't got long to finish this guy off. I'm under leading. Scratch 1 262. Careful, he's going for the F2G. That is fine. If he does a smart thing, he'll just extend. Yep, he's extending. That's good. And the AA is even shooting at me. Wonderful. 288 taken off. I can catch that. I can't catch the 262. Only way I'm catching the 262 is if I get lucky and he's an engine down. But obviously, with our oil suffering quite badly, we're going to have to head back to base soon. J6K is coming down. I'm not too worried about that. I can dogfight that no problem. Is he going to make a pass at me? No, I don't think he is. Nah, he's being chased by the Tempest, so that's fine. Yep, Tempest got him. Let's go for the 288. Oh, never mind, he's on fire. Where's the other Horton gone? That's what I'm worried about. Looks like the LA9 shot through the frickin' P51 to try and steal the 288. Shows what kind of teammates we're dealing with. If he puts that fire out, I'm putting it down. I don't know though, I think that thing's already fucked. Yeah, he's done for. Not gonna steal the man's kill. Yeah, it was P51. What I will do though is I'll swing back round and bag myself an assist. Well, try to. There we go. Might as well bag the assist. Helps towards the Spade after all. 288 inbound. I'm going to head towards that. I've got 30 rounds to kill a 288 and then I've got RTB because 1, I'm almost bingo fuel, and 2, well, bullets. There we go. Jesus Christ, man! That was close. I'll just fire off these last 2 rounds, so they're not going to do much. Sorry if you heard my phone then. I forgot to put my phone on silent. Normally, Joe doesn't keep his phone so close to the mic, but I don't think you heard it. Well, we've got RTB now because we're 3 minutes on fuel, because yes, I run this thing on min fuel. Oh, fuck off! Hold on a minute. Get low. Audience participation. I know you're obviously here for the review, but what do you think to the AAA? Like, in all seriousness. Because I think it's complete bollocks. Now, I know it's unusual for me to include the landing in a review for this sort, like for a jet or an aircraft in general. But with this thing, you kind of have to land it with the nose wheel down. I'll show why. So if you notice, the nose wheel is like it's tucked under where the intake is a little bit, like where the engine is. It's a bit awkward because obviously this is a tricycle landing gear. It isn't a tail dragger like the Yak-17s. So just bear it in mind if you're doing a belly landing, which you normally could do, but sometimes the nose wheel is a bit buggy. I just thought I'd mention that now. Don't worry, Joe will cut to the next part of the match. Alright, well remember that AA gun? It's time to get some revenge. Fuck off. It tried shooting me down just before you saw me mention that anyway. It tried shooting me down, but I managed to dodge it. At the minute though, that 262 that we all saw earlier, he is running back to his base to camp, so I'm just going to go for some ground targets, because, well, this thing can't farm ground targets too much, but I might as well take the opportunity now that it's presenting itself. Like I said, I wanted to keep the landing in, which I normally don't do because it is quite uninteresting, but I wanted to mention it because some of you might try to belly land this thing like the Yak-17. But as I said, the nose wheel can be a bit buggy, so just bear that in mind. There we go, that's that one. There's one more AAA gun, which is probably going to shoot me in the face. There we go. LA9 and the other LA9 is going for the freaking ground target. Well, he's going for the guy over there, which can't say I blame him. You don't need much in the way of burst on these ground targets, and that is game. Can we bag a pillbox before the game ends? Oh, he's shooting the same one as me. God damn it. Ah. Yeah, using air targets on light pillboxes isn't advised. But, not a bad result. I don't know why it didn't show the result there, but we know what we got. We've got 3 air kills, a couple of ground targets, nothing really to like sneeze at. As I said though, you're not going to be the fastest kid on the block. Okay, apparently the game doesn't count that. I don't know why, but not a bad result. And well, even though it won't be in the table, it's still technically a match. Although